4 persons suspected to be connected to the murder of a principal in Yakkalamulla were arrested and remanded until the 10th of next month. Those remanded were 3 youth of the ages of 18, 20 and 21 and a 46-year-old woman. And the police said that investigations are underway to apprehend another group, including the chief suspect.
This girl is crying because her father was murdered inside the house yesterday. He was a school principal. An assault took place at this house, which is still under construction, in the Al-Ihal area in Yakkalamulla in Galle, resulted in the murder of a principal. Information has come to light that the principal was attacked with the use of sharp weapons when he intervened to resolve a situation where he witnessed his child being assaulted by a group of persons who had entered the house. The principal, who had got onto his feet, had fallen on top of a bush in the garden, and according to the relatives, he died before being admitted to hospital. Speaking to News First, the relatives said that the reason for the attack was a complaint lodged with the police. It wasn't even 10 minutes since the complaint was made. They came here and fought. An assault had taken place a few days back after an argument between the second son of the deceased principal and a group of persons in the area. The relatives say that the group had come into the principal's house yesterday and carried out an assault in protest to a complaint being lodged relating to the previous assault. The eldest son of the principal, who sustained injuries from the assault, is receiving treatment at the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. The deceased principal, Mahanama Edirisinghe, was the principal of the Minuandeniya Primary School for the past decade. He was a 52-year-old father of 3. Mahanama Edirisinghe was also a member of the Yakkalamulla Pradesh Sabha from 1991 to 1995. He was also a Justice of Peace and was a graduate from the Shujawardhanapura University.
Police post located 100 meters from the scene of the crime. Special team from the Criminal Investigations Department commences investigations. Another special security program implemented in the area. 10 days since the murders, what's the mystery behind this?
The 13th Neelan Tiruchelvam Memorial Lecture was held today.
The memorial lecture was held at the auditorium of the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute. The Neelan Tiruchelvam Memorial Lecture was delivered by the Professor of Law at the New York University School of Law, Professor Sujit Chowdhury.
In the absence of trust and expectations of reciprocity across ethnic lines, it may be impossible to reach political decisions on routine questions of public policy. If the burdens and benefits of those policies are perceived to be unevenly distributed between ethnic groups, they may be condemned as discriminatory even when they are not. Political debates on ordinary questions of public policy can escalate quickly into dramas of respect and recognition, far removed from the actual interests at play.
Action TV is up next.
The General Committee of the Government Medical Officers Association reached a decision today to notify all members of the GMOA regarding the review and conclusions arrived at by 3 of its members into the purchase of a stock of surgical equipment by the Health Services Director. At a media briefing held last Monday, the GMOA stated that the Health Services Director had requested the GMOA to intervene into the situation that had arisen in the backdrop of the purchase of the said stock of surgical equipment. The GMOA also stated that considering the Health Services Director's request, 3 of its members had reviewed the investigation report which had been conducted according to a directive by the former Secretary to the Ministry of Health into the purchase of the surgical equipment. The former Secretary to the Ministry of Health had ordered such an investigation to be carried out despite the findings made by the Presidential Investigations Unit, which stated that the said Director of Health Services had embezzled 18.2 million rupees from the state and hoodwinked the former Health Ministry Secretary. According to the findings of the Government Medical Officers Association, no such irregularities or discrepancies had been carried out by either the Health Services Director or any other person. The memorandum that was released at today's media briefing contained the reasons for the intervention made by the GMOA. One of the factors contained in this memorandum was that the GMOA stated that they had not commented upon the monetary handling of this case. The GMOA had identified this issue as a common one.
Views were expressed at 2 separate media briefings today on the verdict that was issued by a London court regarding the hedging deal.
Sri Lanka has incurred a huge loss through the hedging deal. Although the nation has suffered a loss, I do not think the brokers of this agreement, the individuals who struck this deal, have made any losses. They have struck this deal because they can profit from it. Although it is a loss for the country, although it is a loss for the tea pluckers and the workers in the Middle East who bring in foreign exchange, it is not a loss for the people who struck this deal. Although there is a case, they have not made a loss. The plaintiff and the defendant in the case have made profits. Through this, we can see how the government works with international corporations.
Standard Chartered filed a case against us in the London High Court. Following hearings, a verdict unfavourable to us was passed. We submitted an appeal challenging it. The day before yesterday, this appeal was rejected. But we have taken steps to submit another appeal to a higher court. Therefore, we will not have a problem where we will have to instantly pay the money. We have taken measures to submit this appeal.
Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajid Premadasa, says that it is the people that have to suffer because of the short-sighted actions of those in power. He stated this while addressing a public meeting in Polonnaruwa today.
This meeting was held to encourage those contesting the North Central Provincial Council from the United National Party. When thousands of people are destitute in the country across many villages, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has to pay millions of rupees to Overseas Bank over the hedging deal. Whose money is this? It is the people, the future generation, who will have to pay.
Up next is a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day. The 9th National Convention of the Jathika Hela Urumaya was held this afternoon at the auditorium of the National Youth Services Council in Maharagama. The convention was chaired by Venerable Dr. Omalpe Sopitha. The convention commenced ceremonially with a floral tribute being paid to the statue of Lord Buddha. The party office bearers for 2012-2013 were announced at the convention, with Venerable Dr. Omalpe Sopitha being reappointed party leader. Minister Padli Champika Ranawaka was appointed the General Secretary, while Venerable Athuraliye Ratanathera was appointed to the position of Chairman and Uday Gammanpilla was appointed Deputy Secretary. Nishantha Sri Varnasinghe was appointed to the position of National Organizer. Daya Gamage was appointed Treasurer. A stock of dry rations were distributed among a group of low-income families in Colombo today under the patronage of Sri Lanka Muslim Congress candidate for the Eastern Provincial Council, Azad Saleh.
The program to distribute dry rations among low-income families took place for the 6th consecutive year. there were 3 ministers in the cabinet when the issues surrounding the Mullah Mosque cropped up. Whenever there was a problem relating to the Muslim community, it was Azad Salih who voiced concern. I don't need any political gain. The Muslim community need not live in fear. The Muslim community have not lived in fear in the past either. That is why I sacrificed my seat in the Kelang Municipal Council and left the government. I am now prepared to voice my concerns for the betterment of the people in the East. The government has called for election to curtail our religious activities during the Ramazan period.
The vehicle parade of the Janatha Vimukti Peramuna, which began from Donrahead, reached Warakapula today. The parade is scheduled to reach Donrahead. Today was the third day of the vehicle parade, which has been named as the People's Movement Against the Present Regime. Members of the JVP distributed leaflets to create awareness on the scourge of rape and child molestation reported from many parts of the island. Signatures were also obtained from the public. Well, United National Party parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara stated before the Mahanayakas of the Malwathu and Askeri chapters today that he had no intention whatsoever of leaving the United National Party.
MP Dayasiri Jayasekara met with the Mahanayaka of the Malwathu chapter of the Siam Nikaya, Most Venerable Tibbatuabe Sri Sumangala Thera at the Malwathu Vihare today. Work so that the truth will win. Stay in the party you are in. There is a large group with you. Moreover, many of the United National Party supporters are lost. Work to bring them forward. Subsequent to the meeting with the Thera, the parliamentarian spoke to the media. If we are to create a government, we should show the people our sincerity and be exemplary. How can we say that we will install democracy when a dictatorial constitution is being made inside our party? There are several issues that need to be resolved. I have an issue with the new constitution being brought for the next 6 years. If I was a member of the working committee, I would have told it to the working committee. However, I am not a member of the working committee. But I have been chased. But I will not let go of the fight. Therefore, I will fight for it from the outside. I have a disciplinary inquiry on the 8th. I will work not 100% but 200% if the party is taken to the right path democratically by stopping the drama where parliamentarians, provincial councillors and organisers are being removed by conducting disciplinary inquiries. I have no intention of leaving the United National Party. Subsequently, the parliamentarian met with the Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter of the Siam Nikaya, Most Venerable Udugama Sri Buddha Rakita Thera. Most Venerable, as a party that will build a government in the future, we need to create our own constitution. What has happened is that there is no unity. If there are obstacles, you should keep your respect and move away. That is what anyone would do. I can continue to practice as a lawyer. You have the talent. Yes, as a lawyer.
Chief editor of the Thinakural newspaper, Dhanapala Singham, launched a book titled Noku today. Several dignitaries, including General Secretary of the Citizens Front, Parliamentarian Jayashree Ranga, attended the event. The book launch was held at the Tamil Changam Auditorium in Vellavatta. The book launch was held under the auspices of Seelan Kadiragama.